Exam. Hello friends, this video on transitive and intransitive verb part 2 is brought to you by ExamFear.com. No more fear from exam. So let us try a couple of exercises. So we will look at some of the sentences where we will try to identify the verbs. The clock stopped this morning. So which is the verb here? Which is the word which shows some action? Stopped. So this is the verb. Now whether it is transitive or intransitive, let us see. The clock is the subject because the clock is that thing which stopped. So clock is the doer of the action in a way. So the clock stopped what? Do you get an answer? No. The clock stopped whom? Do you get an answer? No. That means there is no object. That means stopped is an intransitive verb. Next one. A poor man stood by the main gate. So here verb is stood. Who stood? The poor man. So this is the subject. Now if we ask a question, stood by what? So then we may get an answer, but that is not the right way of asking the question. So how do we ask the question? We always ask what or whom after the verb. So we have to ask stood what? Do you get an answer? No. Stood whom? Do you get an answer again? No. So that means we do not have an object here. So it is intransitive verb. So please understand this difference. Sometimes you may say that okay, if I ask a question like this, stood by what? Then the answer is the main gate. But you have to ask a question by just putting what or whom after the verb. Okay, let's look at the next one. Put away your toys. So if you look at this sentence, this is an imperative sentence. So what are imperative sentences? Those sentences where we make some requests, we give some orders or commands. So they are called imperative sentences. And mostly in imperative sentences, the subject is hidden. So when we say put away your toys, so what we mean is you put away your toys. So you is the subject which is hidden here, because put away your toys actually means that we are talking to the person who is standing in front of us, right? So that you is hidden in this case, correct? So therefore, now if I ask you which is the subject and which is the object, so the toys, if I ask, now let's ask a question to see if there is an object or not. So if we ask a question, you put what? Right? So then the answer would be your toys. So you put away what? So the answer is your toys, right? So therefore in this case, this is a transitive verb because you have an object in this case. Next one, birds chirp every morning. So here the verb is chirp. Now birds are the subject. So if you ask a question, bird chirps what? Do you get an answer? No. Bird chirps whom? Do you get an answer? No. So that means there are no objects. So therefore, this is intransitive verb. Let's look at the next one. Time changes everything. So here the verb is changes. So if you ask a question, time changes what? The answer is everything. So that means everything is the object here. That shows that changes is transitive verb. Let's look at the next example. My new watch does not keep good time. So in this case, which is the verb? So does not keep, this portion is the verb. So if we ask a question, so my new watch is the subject. This portion is the subject. So if you ask a question, my new watch does not keep what? The answer is good time. That means good time is the object. So therefore, this is transitive verb. Shruti wrote a letter to her father. So here, where is the verb? Wrote is the verb. Who is writing? Shruti. So Shruti is the subject. So if we ask a question, Shruti wrote what? The answer is letter, which is the object. Now, if we further ask, Shruti wrote a letter to whom? The answer is her father. So that is also an object, but this is indirect object. And this is direct object. Again, I'm not getting into the detail of direct and indirect object, but what we understand is here in this sentence we have objects. So basically the verb's action is being passed on from the subject, that is Shruti is writing, and that writing is being done on what? The letter, right? So therefore this is transitive verb. And now let us look at the last example. I shall bring my camera with me tomorrow. So I is the subject here, correct? So shall bring is the verb. So if we ask a question, I shall bring what? The answer is my camera. So that means this is the object, which tells us that shall bring is a transitive verb, because you have an object and the verb is such that the action is being transferred from the subject to the object. So with this, we have reached towards the end of this lesson on transitive and intransitive verb, and I hope that you found this lesson useful. Now, I would advise you to practice more questions so that you are able to handle these kind of questions if you get them in your competitive exams or even in your school exams. Besides, you also try to use these simple rules while you speak English so that you are able to speak correct English. So I hope you liked the lesson. If you liked it, share it with your friends so that they can also learn from it and enjoy. So see you all very soon with a new topic, with a new lesson. Thank you. Please visit ExamFear.com for free quality education. You can learn with a simple 4-step learning process wherein you can watch video lessons, you can ask your questions, you can refer notes, and you can take a free online test. We have content for class 6 to 12 on physics, chemistry, mathematics, and biology along with practical videos. So please subscribe to our channel for daily updates. Thank you.